Okay, you guys, we back. That I had left off. I was basically telling y'all like my experience with my business being shared with kids and how that had affected me. After I dealt with living with my dad, I went back and lived with my mother. Everything was all good. It was fun because my mother was like in a better head space. Yeah, she, definitely was upset at me for, stealing from her when I had did or whatever. But she was in a much better headspace than she was when she sent me off to live with my dad. I was able to tell that my mother she was happy that I was back, but like she didn't really trust in certain things that I had said out my mouth and stuff like that because of like me stealing from her, but that she did forgive me. She just was cautious on with me. And my mother, she the type of person that like when you're wrong, she gonna hold you accountable for your wrong. Like she just not gonna let you just go for the wrong. I was happy that I was back because it was like, okay, I get to be a kid again. I get to go outside again and have fun and be, free. I had already shared my experience with y'all with Harlem Park days. So when I went back to live with her, I had went to Harlem Park. I expressed to y'all about the fights and stuff like that. My mother friend group had changed. She had started hanging out with these group of girls. Like it was always out party. Like that's just, what they did. It's like my mother would always hang up Park Heights. And I was up there with her all the time. In the beginning stages of always being up there, I didn't care to be up there all the time only because the friend group that my mother had, like they all had sons and I was the only girl. It wasn't too much that I was able to do. My mother made it clear, like, people up here, they take people keys, they rape people. So my mother, she ain't let me go off and run off and go play. Like I stayed right there where she was at and that was it. That was all. And there was times where we'd be there so daggone late that we'd stay the night up there and I'm staying in Miss Nickel room or sometimes late night, my mother had to catch a ride. Like we'd be up there at Park Heights so much, it was to the point my mother was getting her phone calls from the house sent up Park Heights. She was going up there so much to the point like my mother started leaving me in the house by myself. Like it's been times where she left me in the house. I mean, it's been days she been gone and I'm hungry. I don't know how to cook for myself. I don't know what I'm doing. So the girl, in beginning videos, I was telling y'all about the girl, Keisha. I told y'all had that me and her didn't like each other in the beginning, but we ended up becoming best friends. It was always together. Like when my mother was gone, I knew I couldn't go outside. I will never forget one time she was gone for a whole week. Like it was to the point Keisha used to have to bring me food from her house. I would look through the mail, so anybody out there? She's like, no, ain't nobody coming. So then she'd slide me some food. I didn't never understood what are you up there doing so much that, I don't have no food. Why you going? You get what I'm saying? Or you going all the time that you're not coming back home, in here with me and stuff like that. But, thanks to Keisha, she was a real good, like during that time, that was really my best friend. Like that girl really used to feed me. Like when it was times where she could be outside with other, the other kids having fun with them, running around and playing with them. I'd be right there at the mail slot and she'd be right there talking to me through the mail slot the whole time. If she do walk off and go play, she'd be like, hold on, secretary, I'll be right back. And she'd go walk off and, go play, do this, that, the third with them. And she'd come right back over there with me, talk to me and stuff like that. Like she never really left me by myself when it came to that because, she understood, her mother worked hard or whatever. So, she was sometimes in the house by herself as well. So she understood. My mother was hanging with these girls, these group of girls so much going out like almost every day, every weekend to the point where as though like she was never there for me. She was always gone. Like she never had time for me. And then I ain't gonna stunt, like, and when I started paying attention, like the friend group she had, some of them had kids, but their kids wasn't really around. It was like, it was times where they was, getting their kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, when we was going up Park Heights and I was around all them daggone boys, that's because that lady, her kids live with her. All her sons live with her. You get what I'm saying? But all my mother other friend groups, like they didn't they didn't really, well, not other friend groups, but those friends that she was hanging with right then and there, They had kids, but they didn't have their kids living with them. They didn't have to, that their kids wasn't their responsibility, and I was her responsibility. And she was young. So to her, it was more so about having fun, enjoying herself, enjoying her life, not allowing, her life to pass her by. I mean, always saying, I'm gonna keep always saying and pointing out, I am not making these videos to bash anyone. I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm not here to hurt nobody. That is not my goal. I'm just here using my life experiences, sharing and spreading awareness on generational curses that turned into a childhood trauma or curse for the next person, that turned into a mental condition in adulthood. And I'm not a professional to diagnose anyone or to say too much about that, but I only can speak of this because I have endured it. I have went through it. That's why I'm sharing these experiences with y'all, because I went through it already, and you will see where it had affected me in my adulthood the longer and the more you go along with me. I'm only talking about this and sharing this awareness because it's important. There's a lot of people out here that's hurting. I watch it, I see it, I hear it all the time, and I have to spread it. It's meant to be heard. If ain't nobody gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it while sharing my own life experiences to let you know and say, hey, I hear you, I care, and I understand. Because a person can tell you, oh, I've been through it and all this other stuff, but you don't know that. You ain't going to trust every word. I'm giving you my experiences, where it started at and where it started affecting me at, and how I did not know. But eventually I started paying attention. So come on, let's get back into it, boy. My mother having fun at Park Heights and all this other stuff, like that was cool. But it was like she was just, neglecting me. And it wasn't just like having fun at Park Heights and stuff like that. It got to the point like we was hanging like down there near like Landville, and everywhere she went, it was like there was just nothing but like a party. Everybody's partying. Let me tell you again, I was not the only child around. I was just the only girl that was around when all this was going on. So I thought, this was normal growing up, like just seeing all this like partying and everybody hooting and hollering and stuff like that. They thought that, that this was just something that they did every time, all the time. It was times where all her friends was allowed to the house. I didn't have a problem with that. I see my mother having fun. And in the midst of that, did I care at that moment that, about her spending time with me, or me and her getting her one-on-one? No, I didn't care about that. Because as a child, all I'm thinking about is, all her friends here, they keeping her occupied. I get to go outside. And not only do I just get to go outside, I get to go outside and stay out there late. Why? Because she's occupied. She's not worried about me. She having fun. So it was easy to me in that way. But okay. So my mom, she let one of her girlfriends come and stay with us. Troy was the reason why at a young age I learned my passion and what my heart and soul desires, okay? At a young age, I was 11 years old. I had got punished. I had disrespected my mother. Me and my mother had got into a little situation where I felt like, okay, my mother was she was partying and doing so much with her friends that I didn't feel like my mother paid me any attention. So this one time, I forgot exactly what I had did, but I had got myself in trouble. My mother went to go punish me. And she told me my punishment was just basically just to stay in my room. And I was okay with staying in my room, but I remember I was hungry. She had made spaghetti, and I went to go downstairs to go get some spaghetti. And my mother was telling me, if you go downstairs, I'm going to beat you. And I'm looking at her like, what? Like, you ain't never beat me before. Like, yeah, are you're not beating me, okay? So my mother grabs the belt. I go downstairs. I ran down those stairs fast. I remember, because I went straight to that kitchen. I was not paying her no attention. I was not scared, like, yeah, whatever. And I remember going to that daggone kitchen, and I went to go get the spaghetti out. My mother came down there with the belt, but it wasn't like she came down there with the belt to beat me. She came with the belt but swinging the buckle, like she's swinging the belt buckle at me. So I snatched that daggone belt buckle at her, and me and her had ended up getting Like we started fighting in that house. And I remember end up running out and leaving out the house. I went to my little brother cousin house and I'm like, yeah, my mother had beat me with the belt buckle, this, that, and the third. And I made it clear like I want to call the police on her. And her mother let me call the police on my mother. I called the police. I told them what my mother did. My mother ended up getting locked up, and then I had to go move right back with my father. I was trying to get them to go send me to my grandmother, my mother, but they end up sending me to my dad. I go live with my dad for a little bit. Again, as y'all know, just a bunch of beating and hooping and hollering all the time. And my dad, which is, he just had to, of course, tell everybody, yeah, she got Yolanda locked up. Yeah, I ain't with none of that. She ain't gonna get me locked up. One time he called the police on me because I was spazzing, like, you keep beating me. Like, he was just beating me for every little thing. I'm not doing the work correctly. I'm moving too slow. Oh, me speaking up for myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was just too much. Like, I was just getting beat for every little thing. Oh, we ain't clean the house correctly. I'm getting beat. You talking back. I'm getting beat. You rolled your eyes. You getting beat. Oh, you like if I'm staring at him in his face without saying nothing, I'm getting beat. Or if he say something and I'm looking at him, I'm getting beat. Don't make eye contact. Like, what? Like, I was just getting beat for everything. And it's like, yeah, some things I did deserve it. Like if me and his brother or sister get into a fight, I'm getting a beating. They getting a beating as well, not just only me. I just feel like, I'm not saying that he just beat me all the time for no reason. There was times that was for reasons, but at the end of the day, I'm saying there was times that it didn't call for all that. Like you really overdoing it, sir. After all that, I did end up going back to live with, my mother. After she got locked up, I had put a wedge in between me and my mother, like with that. It was one thing with the stealing, but the locked up part was different. My mother didn't really care for me after that. Like, at all, you got me locked up. What? Like, yeah, but it was more so like, girl, hold on. Like, what you doing? You sat right here and beat me with a belt buckle, and I'm just like, you ain't beat me any other time. You ain't disciplined me any other time. Like any other time, you too busy partying. You ain't worried about me. You ain't thinking about me. You don't even be in here with me, pouring into me. You get what I'm saying? And I was not right. Okay, I was a child. I was dead wrong, but that was just my thoughts as a child at that moment. Like, no. You're not about to be doing that, like a belt buckle. Are you kidding me? Okay. Now I remember with my dad, he made it clear to the police officer one time. He called the police officer because he said, "What you want to call? Call him on me. I'll call him for you." And he called them and let them know, like, yeah, she got her mother locked up. And oh, you ain't gonna get me locked up. Oh yeah, he told him like, I'm a discipline my child and this, that, and the third. And they told him like, sir, you can discipline your child. You just can't leave no bruises behind. But what they failed to realize, I had bruises all up and down underneath of my clothing. Like, that was something he definitely was doing because he was overly beating me. He didn't give me a regular little beating. He ABCD type beating. Like, you singing the alphabets. Like, you did wrong. I did go move back with my mother. I told y'all about the Harlem Park or whatever, her getting, me and the Harlem Park. Went through that whole little process. Um, I believe I definitely, yes, I told y'all about how I ended up getting suspended and I had got suspended and my mother had beat me with the daggone pole, the little metal white pole for getting suspended and not saying nothing to her. My grandmother was just trying to figure something out. Like I could tell during that time, like my grandmother knew something was wrong, but she didn't know exactly what was wrong with me. But she just was like, when she would come and get me from my mother's house, she would always ask me like, "You okay? How was your day? Like, are you sure? You can talk to me about anything, this, that, and third." Like my grandmother would always talk to me like that. Like it was like she knew something was up, but she ain't know what was up. It was just things that I just knew I wasn't supposed to speak about, so I didn't know how to tell anybody like, yeah, my father doing too much, or my mother, like, that her hit me with that, the pole thing, that was too much. I didn't know how to express that, you know, my mother not being there for me, like that affected me. Like as a child, like I didn't look at my mother as no mother as a child, because like you ain't treat me like you was my mother. You treat me like I was your homegirl. Like I'm always there with you. Like when you're on your homegirls having conversations, y'all going out partying and stuff like that, I'm right there watching y'all get ready. I'm in the middle of your conversations. Like I'm openly speaking my mind and speaking up about stuff like as a child that I'm not supposed to speak up, because I got kids and I wish my kids would. You hear me? Like, so I was a part of stuff that I wasn't supposed to be a part of, so I felt like you beating me is unacceptable. Like, no, like you the one in the wrong. Like you the one not being a mother. You're not doing what you're supposed to do as a mom. So don't think you gonna beat me and you never did it before. I was punished for a little minute, and my mother homegirl Tro come and stay with us. Everything was fine. She was a real cool person. I loved her energy. She was so loving and vibrant and stuff like that. Now Tro will always read books, okay? So I was punished. I see everybody in the house at the Tro pick up the book. Um my godmother, like my mother, other homegirls, like everybody now they want to pick up the book and read it. Corinne Steffens' Superhead was the first book that they was reading. The second book they picked up, it was Be More Careful, right? So I just remember, being punished, can't do nothing. I can't watch TV. My mother like, oh, you can't go in the window, to watch your friends play. I couldn't even do that. I see how they were just so into the books. I will never forget seeing Tro at that time, like on the couch. We had a blue couch in the living room with the book in her hand, like in mid motion, taking care of herself. And I'm like at that time, like I remember just watching her sitting on the other chair, like staring at her, watching her, but not never. I didn't never understood what she was doing. But she under the covers, leg cocked wide open. The matter of fact, and I'm lying, she wasn't even under the daggone covers. She just sit in her pants, and she had her legs wide open. You could just see her, her hand just taking care of herself or whatever. And they all, after everybody read the book, they all together, they talk about the book. So I just will never forget, like, picking up this daggone book. And my first time I picked up this daggone book, normally I'd be listening to their conversation. So I would sit on the stairwell and I'd be nosy at the top of the stairs, and I'd be nosy listening to their conversation. And they would always come and check the stairwell just to make sure I ain't listening. But y'all ain't let me outside, so what else there is to do? You hear me? So I get to reading the book. I'm on the stairwell, at the top of the stairwell, reading the book. Baby, when I picked up that book, it was like I was able to see everything she was saying. I ain't never in life had anything open up my mind. Like Corinne Steffens, she's the reason why my mind is the way it's as open as it is. Okay? Because I have not ever in life, during them times and them times of my life, was able to read a book and see as much as I was able to see. You get what I'm saying? And I remember reading that book and like supposed to be going outside, not wanting to go outside because I'm so into the goddamn book. Baby, I remember just being so into that book to the point I couldn't wait to try to bring more around just to read it. It was to the point everybody around there just started picking up books now, and I'm waiting for them to put this book down, to put that book down, just so I can read. So I'm reading all these street books. Like me as a child, my first books was them little street books, them little urban nasty books. Okay, that was the books that I was allowed. Well, that was there for me to read. I was allowed to read it because ain't nobody stopped me. My godmother, like, Yolanda, you see what she read, and you gonna allow her to read that book? And she was like, go ahead. Like she let me go ahead. And she would tell my mother, like, girl, you don't let her read no books no like that. You don't let her do this, that, and the third. And my mother like, man, that's my child. Go ahead. And she let me read that book and read Be More Careful and all that. Trying to tell you, if it wasn't for Trout, I wouldn't love books the way I do because I never, the other books that I was reading as a kid, they wasn't exciting to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't nothing to open up my mind to grab my attention the way, you know, Corinne Steffens and whoever that was that will Be More Careful. It didn't grab my mind the way those books did, So after reading that book, when I tell you, I just felt like from then forth, like I can write a book because I was going through as a child, like I was going through so much and seeing so much. You get what I'm saying? Like I got a mother chasing niggas, I got a father chasing females. Not don't I like wasn't really feeling like I was getting love for real unless it's like coming from like my grandmother, stuff like that. Like I wasn't like getting it from my parents, the source, the main place where I felt like I was, supposed to receive it. I wasn't receiving it from there. So that us living alone in the projects, it was like something I just wanted to write about because it was a real big experience for me. Like that was like a real big experience because I just remember being a kid. We was doing dumb stuff as kids, like beat the homeless. It was a homeless guy that smelled really bad, and we used to play like where my little brother lived at. Like sometimes their mother didn't let them come outside; they was only able to go on the stairwell. So we would come on the stairwell and come and play with them. You get what I'm saying? And it will be a homeless person right there. So they, of course, they needed somewhere to sleep, but we needed somewhere to play because they can't come outside. So it been times where we used to chase that person out the building with sticks and pieces of wood, hitting them and stuff. Like, God forgive me. Forgive us all. At that time, as little kids, we thinking that's fun, but I'm not gonna say why we thought it was fun. It was more so why we clowned around about it is because you got to think. As I'm really thinking about it now, the adults in our life, when they see homeless people, they ill, go to FA, you little stinking tail, this, that, and third, cracking on them, making jokes. And what everybody around them do is laugh. And us as kids, we right there, we see it, we laugh. We thinking it's okay. So what we do, we laugh. We see it on our own with other kids or just us by ourselves. We laugh, we crack jokes, and other kids get to following behind us. It's nothing but the blind leading the blind, you hear me? My mother, homegirl, she had ended up moving out. When she had moved out, um, my grandmother had decorated my room, and I remember my grandmother took me shopping, and she just got me everything I wanted for my room because now I just have my room to myself. And during the time, my favorite color was pink. Like it was this real like beautiful light pink. And at that time it was just like a light pink, a green, and a white. Did I really like green and white at that time? No, it was just like it just blended so well together, like a sage green and a light pink and a white. I remember just loving those three colors as a little girl. So me and my grandmother, we go out shopping, and I forgot where we went, but she ended up buying me a brand new quilt set to go to my bed. She ended up getting me like a carpet to go on the side of my bed, the little what was the little cushion pillows, like the ones with the little beady things in the inside. I forgot what they called, but she bought me one of those little chairs, little beanie chairs. She bought me a beanie chair. It was to the point she even bought me like a light switch. Yes, I remember the light switch. She bought me a light switch and all that. Like she was decorating the mess out of my room. Like she wasn't even done decorating my room. Like she made it clear, like, okay. And then the next time I come back and get you, she like, we gonna get you some clothes, but we gonna get you like curtains for your room. So I'm like, okay. And I was just so excited. So we go to my house, we get the deck, put everything up. Baby, why in the world? Like, I guess later on that day or prior or a day later, I don't know what happened. My godmother got into a situation where she had to come stay with us. And now I gotta share my room with her. And she has to sleep nude. She's sleeping all nude in my bed, and baby, one day we wake up and it is blood all over my favorite pink quilt set. Like, my favorite color. Like, my grandmother just bought me this. Bro, it's blood all in my stuff. It's to the point she wakes up and see the blood. She like, oh my gosh, I came on my period. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This, that, and third. So she gets up and she goes to go, to the bathroom so she can clean herself up. But as she going to the bathroom to clean herself up, baby, she dropping blood on my carpet. Like, she destroying my stuff. Like, it's destroyed. Remind you, like, I just got this. Like, what the freak? I just got this. So, boom, I'm irritated. I'm so mad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she just like, I'm so sorry. They try to go wash it out and all that. But, we seen and was able to tell that, like, it's blood. That blood was not coming out, of that. Now, maybe if we had peroxide and tried it that way, it would have came out. But we ain't tried that way during that time. So it didn't come out. And I basically had to get rid of my quilt set and my carpet. My quilt set and my carpet had to go because of the blood. I was upset about it. I couldn't wait to tell my grandmother. Like, I was so hurt. Like, it was to the point, like, still to this day, like, I don't even like that color pink no more. Like, it's a cool looking color, but that's no longer my favorite color. Like, that used to be my favorite color, and that day that happened, that messed it up for that being my favorite color. And I remember being so irritated. I was so mad at that she did that. Like, why? First off, I was already irritated, when she came, because it was like, all right, it was fine that she had came, but why you in my bed naked? Why you getting in my bed naked? I was already irritated about that. She getting in my bed naked, and it was just the camera, move back, move, scoot back, scoot back. That pissed me off. You in my bed. You keep telling me what to do. Like, you could have slept on the couch. You ain't had to come up there and sleep in my bed. I was already irritated about that. My grandmother was telling my mother, no, don't let nobody come stay in your house. You just got to where it's just you and your daughter. Don't let nobody come stay in your house. Of course, my mother don't listen. Still did it. Baby, I couldn't wait to tell my grandmother. My grandmother was so hot with this whole situation to the point she made it clear to my mother, like, and to me, she like, I'm not even buying another set. She said, I'm not even buying another set or the rest of the stuff. She was just more so like, I'll get it for you, but I'll get it when she moves. Like, she gotta go. I'm not buying her nothing else for this bedroom for nobody else to be sleeping on and messing up. It's what my grandmother said. Like, I will never forget that. And I was so irritated with that because it's like, oh, now I gotta share my room with her. And it got to the point, like, she got so comfortable to the point where as though, like, she get a nigga and move him in, and they in my room now. Now, my room is their room. I gotta go stay in the room with my mother. That irritated me because it's like, how you gonna give my room to somebody else? Like, what the freak? I'm your child. Like, how do you do that? Next thing you know, one day, everybody gone, and it's just me and my mother. My mother, she was like in a rush that day. Like, she was in a rush. Like, she was like tidying up around the house, but she was just like in a rush. Now, I never forget that when she had got out the tub, she took a shower and all that. She had curled her hair up and all that, okay? She got in the shower. She gets out the shower. She goes straight to the room to go, put lotion on, rub lotion all over her body, this, that, and the third, or whatever. So I'm downstairs and I'm making food and I hear a knock at the door. I go to the door. It's the nigga Drew. He at the door. So I'm like, who is it? He says, Drew. I said, who you looking for? He like, Kiana or something like that. So I'm like, who? He like, Kiana. I said, well, I know Kiana, so I said, don't live here like by that name. He like, yes, she do. This where she told me she lived at. This where she gave me the address. So my mother, don't even ask who is it. She just like, somebody at the door. I'm like, yeah. She say, let him in. I opened the door to let this nigga in. I looked him dead in his face. I instantly get irritated. More so because you talking about letting him in. It's my first time ever known or heard or seen of her dealing with this guy or heard about her talk about this guy or because I never heard her talk about him at all. Or all I heard was that she ran into him, he wanted to take her out, and she said, yeah. That's all I heard, the only conversation I heard. But you saying let him in, and I'm like, you ain't got no clothes on. Like, you literally just got out the shower. It's nowhere in the world that you got clothes on. How I know it was nowhere in the world because my mother the type of person that put lotion and everything on before she put her clothes on. She moisturized her body down, face down, deodorize, all that. She used all that before she put clothes on. So when she down the steps for me to let them in, like I'm like, what? I let them in, I instantly get irritated. So boom. And go from that like to now all of a sudden like he's there every day all day like he's just there, he just freaking there like all the time. It was to the point like him, he bringing his friends with him, like his homeboy messing with my godmother, my mother messing with him. Remind you, these young niggas, like the boy, like I met Harlem Park, like I'm not mistaken, this nigga like he was like 17, I was like 11, 12. He was like he was 17. When she first started dating him, it was so irritating. Cause then on top of it, I'm like, everybody got something to say. My god brothers and them, they dying laughing, they tripping at me like, yo, not you and your, not what they used to say, not you and your god, not you and your stepfather. They used to always throw that up. They used to make fun of me about that. You and your stepfather the same age for real, yo. Look, not your stepfather, like one of my god brothers, not your stepfather just left, that side of his school and all that. Like, yeah, he just left this side of my school. He was up there with the high school girl. Like, he up there with the high school girls now. This, that, third. Like, the girl I was telling you, the girls that was braiding my hair, he was going to school with them. Like, that's how they know him. He was going to school with them. He just stopped. Like, so this is embarrassing because everybody that I'm cool with, everybody know he's messing with my mother. Cause this was something he was saying. It wasn't like they was going out on dates. He was taking her out in public. No, he didn't do that. He wasn't doing it with her. It was like they was just always, they was just there. And it was like he just needed somewhere to stay. So it went from him, them two dealing with each other to him now had needs somewhere to stay. And now I got to sleep on the couch. I remember waking up with goddamn crooks in my neck. Can't even moving around like this. Can't even turn. I remember the school calling home telling my mother, like, she can't move her neck. Like, she having her neck hurt from sleeping on a chair. You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember then my godmother, she's still living with us with her nigga. Now, the person that her kids live with, this lady didn't passed away. So now that lady passed away. Now, now her kids got to come stay with us. We remind you, we're in a 2-bedroom apartment, so all adults they get a bedroom. Now me and the kid, now the kids, I'm on the chair, and all the boys they get an air mattress, and they all sleeping, all three of them all on this one air mattress. I'm not saying like, oh, this is such a poor living. I know people live in situations worse than this. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not here to compare situations. I'm just here to bring awareness. Because if you've been through worse and you're dealing and struggling with mental problems or things, not saying like you're going crazy or you're retarded, but like little mental strains that bother you, like you find yourself going down a timeline, going down memory lane of things that happen. I'm telling you why. It's wrapped in childhood. Trying to tell you, it's wrapped in childhood. And I'm here to say, seek help, get therapy, go to therapy. You may say, but I don't need no therapist. I don't need to talk to nobody about my problems. I don't need to do this, that, and third. You may say that, but if you really want the help and you want a peace of mind, go to therapy. Don't wait. Just go and openly speak about what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. I have done it, and I am currently still in therapy. I'm just here to spread the awareness, but I can say when it's the little things when I be trying to figure out like why this, why that. I'm not gonna say like it affects me in a bad way like I used to. I just still be like, dang, that did hurt, but okay, I understanding, and that's all that matters. You know, God was able to give me understanding on certain situations, or you know, before my mom passed away, I was able to openly communicate with her about things, so I got a full concept on, her end of why and what was going on, And I've learned that, she was mentally messed up as well. She was just trying to do what she can with little that she had, So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna speak out because this is bigger than me. With my godmother, when her kids moved with us, everything was okay. We was going to Harlem Park. Um, everything was okay. My god brother, he was up there in the grade up there with the one I told y'all like I had started considering her like, a best friend of mine. So he was in the grade up there with her, so boom, he had, she had low key liked it him, or I think he low key liked it her or something. I don't remember how that had went. I was, deemed as the problem child because I'm gonna openly admit one time, it was a little situation where the one I was telling y'all, like Mr. Sunshine, I had liked him and all this other stuff, just supposed to be my little boyfriend and stuff like that. And it was a situation where it was a girl, it was something about a girl. And long story short, I was just like, oh well, he had supposed to been like, oh this my new girlfriend or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I lied and had pointed to um my god brother and was like, oh well, this my new boyfriend. And it had came and he was upset, and like after school he had ended up coming up to my house. So I was like, oh, and my god brother, I was like, and my man lives with me, like we lives in the same household, this that and the third, not thinking that it would get back to anybody in my house, y'all. Not thinking that it would get back to anybody in my house, but it did. He came up there with his little friends and knocked on the door and was talking about he wanted to fight my god brother for me. And my godmother went off. She like, what? Takara, Yolanda, come here. Because she didn't got my son into something. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh. My heart was throbbing up, like beating so bad. My mother was like, what you do? What happened? I told her, like, well, I lied. I kept it 100 with them. Like, I lied and told them that he was my boyfriend. And that's because he had made me mad and said such with his girlfriend. But it was just more so like, I didn't know it was going to get back to the house. I didn't know I was gonna get back to the house. It was like you was trying to make me jealous. So boom, I got something back for you. And I won because I made you so daggone jealous that you came to my house trying to fight. When my godmother got her sons, like I seen like a shift in my godmother, like a difference. Like, yeah, she was still partying, like she'll party here and there and have a little drink here and there, but she would make known like I gotta get a job, I gotta do this, that, and the third. She like, like I got my sons, like I gotta take care of my kids, I got this, that, and the third. Like I never heard her talk nor be like that at first. Like, yeah, she always never played about her sons. You get what I'm saying? So even when she didn't have them living with her, like she never played about her kids. But it was just more so of like she didn't want to have her sons like, in the projects or whatever. She wanted them to be in the house. Like that's why she had to live with other people. But when she had got her sons, my godmother had got on her feet. Like she started looking for jobs. Always seen a hustler in her, but the hustler really came out in her at that moment. It was like she knew that she couldn't give these boys to nobody else. It was all on her. And that hustle mentality went from it being like 40, 60, and I'm gonna say 40 and 60 because she was always a hustler. Whatever she wanted, she got it. If it was out of a female or nigga, she got it. whatever it was, she got it. Like she listen, she wasn't coming up short or nothing. But when she got them daggone boys, it went from that 40 to 60 to 100. She started getting jobs. She kept, kept keeping a job, doing whatever she can. Then she ended up getting herself a place. Now, when she had got this house, I was like almost a little upset because my mother was about to do the dumbest thing ever. And she was about to let our house go, our apartment go to go live with my godmother. Now, remind you, my godmother got, she got her sons, and it's her, and she had went and got a 3 bedroom house, of course, for her sons, and, and she was trying to get her daughter. And, she got this house or whatever. My mother sitting there, I don't know what her and my godmother had a little agreement or discussion, and for my mother to come, she's about to just come stay with her. Man, we went to go stay up there, and I noticed me and my mother was just sleeping in this little middle room, the littlest room of the daggone house. If I'm not mistaken, it didn't have no window, or if it did, had this little window in there. And we supposed to go from giving up our own bedrooms to staying in this house with her and her sons. And that irritated me because I'm just in my head, like, what are you thinking? Like, so I'm really not about to have my own room, and we about to have to share rooms. Like, cause we was now like sleeping in the bed together and all that. Like, yeah, we did this before, but you know, like what? Like, we really about to do this? Like, boom. Fast forward to we didn't do it. My mother ended up didn't do it, but did I end up telling y'all in the other video how when we went to go stay up there, my mother went with my godmother to go help her move and stuff like that. Sometime after that, my mother did end up sending me to go live with my dad for the fight I got into at Harlem Park, and you can look into the Harlem Park video for that. But before she had sent me to go live with my dad or whatever, we'd always be at my grandmother's house. Oh my gosh. And we used to have so much fun. Baby, I'll never forget this one time. The adults staying downstairs, they having a good time. Us kids, we upstairs, we having a good time. And I'll never forget when these two adults came upstairs and they did whatever. And baby, the girl smelled so goddamn bad. She smelled so goddamn bad. I remember me and them daggone boys, we went from being upstairs and ran downstairs. Went in the basement and started playing down there because like baby girl had the whole upstairs bumping. Okay, like every time that girl seemed to open up her legs, it was just out of this world. Like everybody knew to get away from whatever room she was near. Like and I remember like after that one time, then my mom had ended up sending me to live with my dad. I'm gonna get into the rest of everything in the next video. Love you. See you in the next one.